It was Bob Labriola.
Okay.
So he answered questions from fans.
That's
and
right.
He said it was only after the Steelers started Wilson's 21-day clock to come off injured reserve that he was, quote, working his tail off and doing good in practice. My understanding of the situation is that at no point was there a legitimate level of confidence that Roman Wilson understood the offense and his responsibilities within it to the degree that would allow him to execute it at a game speed during the stretch run of an NFL regular season.
And Bob Labriola is not exactly those kind that come up with, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So
He works for the Steelers, right?
Right. Wait, he works for the Steelers?
Yeah.
Isn't he the Steelers guy?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Steelers.com, right?
Steelers.com.
Officially, he's the guy.
Isn't that kind of a interesting thing for him to put
Doesn't he do like
that
the
works for
Steelers
the
Digest?
Steelers?
Mike Tomlin hates Roman Wilson, and he's feeding Labriola stuff to let the world know that he got drafted an idiot, and he doesn't want to.
As soon as you said he works for the Steelers, I was like, wait a second.
It's bad.
This is my thing. Ted says the Steelers should have known that before the draft.
Absolutely.
They did their homework. And
Absolutely.
I agree if it's entirely true, but it makes me wonder if the issue is that, because somebody else said this, like Fittipaldi or one of those guys, that no matter what anybody else thinks, that he missed that whole chunk of training camp. And to miss that amount of time and then try to step, into this moving offense is way more difficult than people think. So he said, that was the reason why. How true could that be?
We're talking 8 fucking months here.
Not just that. Let me jump in really quick with I've worked in the education system. I know some of us also have, but the biggest challenge, and to me, what let me see if a teacher was good or whether I was a good teacher, is how fast could you catch up a student that was either behind or came in the middle. With everything we know about the Steelers coaching staff, about their abilities, I don't know if a lot of it is on Roman Wilson, because maybe they simply could not stop or prioritize enough to be able to get him there. Whatever is needed for them to be able to focus on him and the rest of the team was not there.
Well,
I that's the wide receiver coach's job, right? Azani? Well, he should have kept this kid up to. What do you have a wide receiver coach for?
We know they can't get ready for Thursday games, so this may have some.
Okay,
this is bad. It's a bad look all the way around.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the other thing too. Do we honestly think that Arthur Smith's offense was more complicated than the Michigan offense?
No, that's my thing.
That's what makes me not quite believe this is true, because he was able to handle the Michigan offense. So why wouldn't he be able to handle stepping into even a watered down version of what the Steelers do? Just a few plays,
if they thought he was a valuable asset, they would have just let him run 3 or 4 plays. It's not like they had a Hall of Fame lineup of wide receivers. They were desperate for anybody. So maybe he's just not that good. And they said, shit. He's not too bright. He's not very talented.
I said months ago, don't be surprised. They cut this kid, trade this kid, whatever, this coming season. And you guys are like, what? I'm telling you, now they've put out a hit piece on him through Bob Labriola. So don't tell me that there's not a chance this might happen where they trade this kid or something.
If they gave up on this kid and cut him after this, we'll keep a close eye on the Chargers. If they pick him up in seconds of him being released, then you know that Harbaugh knows, hey, the Steelers don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yep.
Or if they don't pick him up at all, you'll know the Steelers shouldn't draft him in the first place.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That works both ways. But yeah, and this is such a bad look for the team all the way around. I mean, they either blew the draft pick or they can't coach a player. Which is it? It's bad. It's a third round pick. It's not
you know what? In fairness, there is an explanation in the middle. Supposedly, we don't know if this is true at this point. Who knows what they're making up about this kid? But supposedly he had some concussion issues. And if he has some lingering concussion thing with his brain...
Tony Pauline did bring that up when I interviewed him, which I didn't know he had concussion issues.
Oh, apparently they didn't either.
Yeah, I mean, they never brought that up. They never said it at all, that he had any kind of head injury. It was his lower body, right? Leg, ankle, whatever it was. So I don't know if that's it or not, but
I mean, I hope for his sake that's not the hey.
Yeah, I mean, that's something you don't want to joke around about.
Pass is physical. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even make it into the NFL if you're that.
Yeah, you'd think.
I mean, the kid said
red
Remember we
flag.
talked about it? He said, this is as healthy as I've ever been.
Never been.
That was
Yeah.
just before they played the playoff game.
Yeah.
And
I
then
think
we
never
talked about it.
know.
Then Arthur Smith said, gee, I hope we can last long enough for Roman Wilson to get healthy. It's like, what the fuck is going on over
Yeah,
there?
that was the best.